Hey everyone, UEBS 2 Hub here, and in this battle, we have 25,000 soldiers of different types. So I believe it's something like 2,500 Shermans, 1,500 artillery pieces, 11,000 American assault troopers, and 10,000 German soldiers right there in the back. The ones on the side of the artillery are the assault troopers, where the ones farther back are the Germans, and you have the same on that side, versus 250, so 250,000, 250,000 T-Rexes. That said, don't really want to get into too much here. Let's just get into the action. Now, already we are seeing the artillery obviously shooting. They have a very nice range. I put the tanks here, obviously, in the front, because they are going to be better tanky units, I guess you could say, better damage sponges. However, the T-Rexes are already starting to clash with the tanks, and although there have been no deaths on the soldier side, I'm not so sure if that won't happen. I would not be too surprised if we get a flank here starting to kind of happen, but you never know. I tried this type of battle with different permutations of soldiers and whatever else, and the T-Rexes have typically gotten through in some way, shape, or form, but thus far we have no deaths on the soldier side. And as you can see, I mean, these are the assault troopers. They are just laying down the hatred with their Tommy guns, but it looks like the T-Rexes have already broken through. Not on this side, I mean, a little bit on this side, but we have the support of the German soldiers in the back with their K98Ks, if I'm not mistaken, and they are also shoring up a little bit of the side artillery fire, but I wouldn't be too surprised if I could actually get over there a little bit quicker. Yes, as you might be able to see, it looks like those T-Rexes are starting to flank more successfully on this side versus this side. We've already lost 500 soldiers of some kind. I'm assuming the American assault troopers, as opposed to still 15,000 T-Rexes, but as you can see, we are still a long ways away from killing all these T-Rexes. I'm not so sure it's going to be a good outcome for these soldiers, but we will hold out some level of hope here. But look at this writhing. It almost kind of looks like eels, right? Like, these look like eels in a way. Of course, like angry eels, I guess, but just how they're like kind of shaped in this game. Kind of ridiculous. But we still have 1,500 soldiers have been killed. It looks like the T-Rexes are starting to successfully flank on this side. Just based on the numbers and what I'm seeing there way off in the distance, looks like they've done a better job of flanking over there. So they are starting to kill the soldiers, but we still have 23,000 soldiers left versus, again, 223,500 T-Rexes. So these T-Rexes may be catching up to the soldiers sooner than I expected. But there is still a huge prehistoric bloodbath, and who knows? All these guys look like they're injured. If that splash damage is getting to them, we might start seeing them die wholesale, which I would not be too surprised if that starts happening. But these T-Rexes obviously are chomping on the soldiers. They have no hope. Once they get attacked, they are done, and it will take numerous soldiers just to kill a single T-Rex. So let's keep moving on here and jump forward a few moments here in the battle. But, I mean, oof, we are getting a total encirclement here. This just looks gross. Just the modeling on this is so weird. So we have finally crossed the barrier of 10% kills. So it looks like what I mean by that is typically when it comes to the soldiers, they were getting about 10 times as many kills. Initially, not so much anymore. It is becoming evened out, and I have finally made it over to the other side. And as you can see, the soldiers are being wiped out. Now, some people might be asking, hey, well, are the artillery even working? Yes, they are. You can actually see them firing occasionally shots. They don't really light up all so well, but they do fire shots. I'll just kind of show you guys here some shots that they can fire. Of course, they're not a very active thing, but they do fire, and it doesn't light up like the other soldiers might light up, with their ridiculous amounts of fire. But thus far, the soldiers have taken out 58,000 T-Rexes, which would be a really, really nice haul. I mean, how many T-Rexes ever existed? Probably millions. Versus, 11,000 soldiers. So the time of the dinosaurs has come. Looks like they are about to just totally wipe the floor with the soldiers. Once they get a complete flank, I suspect it will be over very, very shortly. But, as you can see, I mean, there are piles of dinosaur and soldiers and everything. You have Germans, Americans, T-Rexes. This is just absolutely absurd, and these tanks have become fully encircled, especially these ones here. They are about to meet the maker of the dinosaurs, which I guess maybe is like an asteroid. Anywho, we have fewer than half of these soldiers left, as you will. And it looks like the dinosaurs are starting to break through kind of near the middle. If they can pull this off and then start to kind of encircle each side independently, that would be huge. And I almost think that the dinosaurs are on the verge of doing that. So let's skip forward a few moments here and, see what happens. But this is getting wild. I would say that the losses on the soldier side have been stabilized, largely because of the, actually, you know what? They may have become stabilized a little bit. As they are having a tougher time, the dinosaurs taking out the Shermans, the tanks, it looks like the soldiers have stopped losing troops so much. This is interesting. They might mount a little bit of a comeback. Now, do I think that they're going to win? Probably not. But they are definitely performing better now than they were a few minutes ago in terms of losses versus, kills. But look at this writhing sea of prehistoric anger. It is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's one of the reasons why I love this game. They almost look like land crocodiles. Like, look at this. It is just phenomenal to just go through all of this. It's a writhing sea of prehistory. Let's go take over Hans here as he gets... Oh my gosh. Stomped on by these... Oh, jeez. This is actually kind of scary. Whoa, imagine this. Oh, and he is gone. But a very cool feature. Now you can actually aim down sights in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. I call it Battleground Simulator, which isn't correct, but UEBS 2. Again, that's where I get my name, at least the channel's name. But again, I mean, now that the German soldiers have collapsed here, it is only a matter of time once all of the Shermans are entirely enveloped front to back. And it does not look very good. I mean, these artillery pieces are fairly flimsy, each of them. I think they have about maybe 500 health. And the T-Rexes do a tremendous amount of damage on a bite-to-bite basis. So now that the artillery are starting to be destroyed, which honestly took a little bit longer than I expected, we will see exactly what we're seeing over here, but everywhere, with the artillery being destroyed by this mobile force of T-Rexes, kind of storming through the back, unhindered, and now all of the Shermans are going to be entirely encircled, and will be attacked from two sides in large part. As you can see here, it is just chaos on an order that maybe I should have expected, but it's just something else seeing it. Very, very cool. So interestingly, it almost kind of looks like the dinosaurs may be able to break through here in the center. This might be the first central breakthrough point that I've noticed. Once this Sherman goes the way of the dinosaurs, so to speak, then that means that the rest of these dinosaurs will be able to break through, no problem. Now, it doesn't appear as though they're actually doing any damage. I'm not sure why. Maybe it has something to do with the modeling, but let's go. If I back up, then they're going to break through and kill my allies. If I move forward, then I'm going to die. So I'm just going to sit here. Okay, I actually may have forced that one to die a little sooner. So the T-Rexes have finally started to break through. They'll be able to collapse this side. And, I mean, of course, this is much larger. But this means a quicker encirclement of these soldiers, which is astonishing. We are down to 4,200 soldiers left. Again, between tanks and artillery. I think that all the fleshy soldiers are gone now. But still, they have left a path of destruction with nearly 130,000 dinosaurs killed. T-Rexes killed, or 114,000 rather, thus far. It is phenomenal to watch. So just so you guys can see how it's developing, the force is starting to encircle again, and we also again have this mobile anti-artillery force that is being killed slowly, but much more slowly than they are actually killing the artillery. Eventually they might die, because we are starting to see them fall, whether through artillery actively aiming at them, or the Shermans, for whatever reason, turning back. But we only have 2,200 soldiers remaining versus 121,000 T-Rexes. Phenomenal. And here we are. I have finally made it back to the side at which I started. And we have another, much larger, more powerful, mobile anti-artillery force comprised of these dinosaurs. They all look like oh yeah, they've taken a beating. They all have some form of damage, and we are starting to see an encirclement here. Right here, once this Sherman gives way, we should start seeing it occur where these are encircled, But again, we only have 1,600 troops remaining. And a very large portion of those are very easily killed artillery. So it is, again, extremely fluid. But I think we all know exactly how this is going to turn out at this point. So while it looks like the anti-artillery force on that side has been annihilated, we have new ones coming in. And the artillery here, just via this breakthrough point in the lines, is about to be entirely engulfed from both sides, and then these guys are going to circle back around and destroy the Shermans. This is something that I didn't think that this match has probably lasted around 25 minutes thus far, but of course I'm only hopefully giving you guys the important parts. But man, oh man, it is pretty much done. I'm just going to, at this point, show you exactly what the score is at the end, but wow, look at that. They are rushing in fully on this side. This was the side that fell first, but it's not like this side fell and then that caused this side to collapse. They both eventually collapsed. So, as we have it here, they are about to be annihilated. We have another breakthrough point here, there. It is pretty much all over, except for the fact that we still have technically a few people still alive on the soldiers. This appears to be the scene pretty much everywhere, but we now have just a few Shermans left. I think more or less every piece of artillery has been destroyed, and all the Shermans that are left are more or less completely surrounded. Just absolute. Can you imagine being in one of those Shermans? If, of course, you were faced with armor-piercing T-Rexes. And by armor-piercing, I don't mean like that they can pierce 10 millimeters of steel. I mean like 60, 70, 100 millimeters of steel. At an angle, no less. That is what's going on here. But just to kind of survey the battlefield one last time, I mean, look at this. Can you imagine? I mean, like, if you, I guess in theory, had a bunch of M2 Brownings, this could work. But man, oh man. And when I say a bunch of M2 Brownings, I mean, like, you'd have to be strafing these in order to get a good amount of kills against them. Holy guacamole. Wow, they've even formed a guitar over here. Like, doesn't this look like a guitar? You have kind of like the base of the guitar up there, and then you have the neck. That looks like a guitar. Ha! That's actually kind of cool. And then you have a giant circle over there. 20 guys left. You have like a crop circle and a dress. But you have a guitar here. Very, very cool. And here we are in the thick of it. All the T-Rexes are just looking at you, roaring. Not really doing too much damage to me. However, this is it, man. Do a battle cry that doesn't exist. Got another kill. Holy guacamole. 3 guys left, and they might... There's 2 of them here, and the final one is somewhere off in the desert. This is just absolutely absurd. And it's weird, too, because you have some, like, guys that are untouched, and you have these guys who are just bloody. But right now, so it looks like all 25,000 of the soldiers have died, except for the final one remaining, I guess. And it looks like there's about 100,000 T-Rexes left, but it is saying that the soldiers killed 140. Basically, that 10,000 or so discrepancy is just caused because the soldiers had splash damage on their side, and splash damage doesn't always count. So bear that in mind. It is a very interesting little quirk there, but the T-Rexes have won, and as you may be able to tell, I was experimenting with water off in the desert, and I'm not really quite sure where this came from because I did that like 20 minutes ago. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Please, if you'd like, consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I'm always interested to see your opinions, but either way, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. These T-Rexes cannot live. It won't happen. But they did win, so take care, everyone.